Habayat kat kum kacing betha ka Sorkar Pedeng, ka Sorkar Jilla ha kasngi balang, kala aji Mynjur ya ka draft jong ka Meghalaya Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Scheme 2023, ka banla pen itu ya kino ginong shong dukan bebian, bat kibala itu dakaan. Lingba ka ni ka scheme, ka Sorkar ka donjing temu ban pinbiang tarajur, ha pedeng ka jingdan kam ban ailat ka mai jakpo ya kinong shong dukan madan, Badru kajing dan kaman pintik na ya ka syong suk syong san, kajing pelat ya kajing kapnya, kajing shangan jong kinong ya nong yeng bat kiwei. Kani ka rai jong ka Sorkar Jilla ka de bayat kat kum ka Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014, kabala Mynjur da ka Sorkar India House nam ahjar khatsaw, kabala batha ya baro ki Jilla kari, bakin thau no ya laki jong ki rule, khnang bante kendon ya kajing ya syong dukan madan, ban ai jing ya da ya ka hok jong kinong syong dukan madan. Ya kan ikat scheme na penwandur da kijing ajing mot jong kikin hun beper bekan top ya ka KHADC, KSU, rang bashnong, kiseng jong kinong li dukan madan bat kiwei. Ka Sorkar ka don jing thmur ban penlong ya ke solve ya ka jing don kinong shong dukan madan, ban penya ya ki application jong ki bakin shong dukan kat kum kikin don ki balabu.
As you are aware that there is a central act adopted passed in 2014 called the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act of 2014, under which rules were framed by the state government in 2022. Now, as a part of the process of the framing of these rules, a scheme was conceived known as the Draft Meghalaya Street Vendors Scheme 2023. And today this draft was approved by the cabinet with a few observations and amendments. Basically, the intention of the government is that we strike a balance between the need of providing livelihood to street vendors and the need to also ensure that other equally important issues like law and order, decongestion, and safety to pedestrians, and the fact that, as we observed in the recent fire incident, how street hawkers were a major cause of the delay in the intervention by the fire services in containing the inferno at Kandailat. So today, the scheme was approved, and the salient features of this scheme I can share with you. But broadly, it speaks of town vending committees who will be eligible to be identified as legal workers. There are a set of criteria clearly laid down. For instance, the person has to possess an epic issued by the Election Commission of India, plus a certificate of at least 6 years, 3 years residence in Meghalaya. The vendor should have been vending in a particular spot for a minimum of 6 months, and 3, he possesses a valid trade license in areas that are outside of the 3 normal areas under the control of the Shillong Municipal Board. We have also received a number of suggestions from various stakeholders, including the KHADC, KSU, Sanjog Kirang Hawkers Associations, and today, after very detailed discussions, we have been able to finalize this scheme, and what we will now do next is to immediately take up an inventorization. Uh, we will start with the survey of the street vendors and process the applications of these vendors based on the broad framework which I have spelled out. Then we will also be taking up this special planning uh, in order to decide which are vending and which are no vending zones. And the government would also strive to provide dedicated vending zones and market spaces to the street vendors. So, broadly, this is what the scheme is as conceived earlier and as approved by the cabinet today.